What's up? In this video, I'm going to give you 10 plus tips to help you maximize the battery life on your Apple iPhone 16 and 16 Plus. Let's go. Welcome back to the video. My name's Sergio, and in this channel I make life-saving tech videos. So if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell while you're down there. And also, if you want an epic phone case like this for your phone, check out the links down below in the description. And with that being said, let's jump right into it. So these are 10 plus tips to help you get the most out of your iPhone 16 battery. Now, you don't have to use all of these tips, because if you use all of them, you're not going to be able to get the most out of your phone. But what I recommend is just choose a couple of your favorite tips and take advantage of them so that your battery can have a very long life. So with that out of the way, let's get right to tip number 1. So tip number 1 is to always fully charge your battery to 100% the first time when you first get your iPhone. So on its first charge it all the way up to 100%. That way the battery will be expanded to its maximum capacity. So tip number 2 is to enable dark mode. So remember that the darker your screen, the less battery it will use. So by enabling dark mode, you will save battery in the short term and in the long run. So you do that by going into settings, scrolling down to display, and here in display, just selecting dark mode. So tip number 3 is to keep your brightness down. So the iPhones do come with adaptive display. So if you're out in a very bright setting, the brightness will automatically go up, but it definitely does help to every now and then check your brightness and bring it down a bit, especially if you're in a dark area where you don't need that much brightness. Okay, you can bring it down to about halfway, and at night bring it down even lower. Okay, another thing you want to do is in settings and over in display and brightness, make sure that True Tone is enabled. And you can enable night shift as well. And what this will do is that it will use warmer colors at night and less warm colors during the day. And this also will help the battery life in the long term. So tip number 4 is to adjust your auto lock settings. So you do that by going into settings, here going down to display and brightness, and here you will see auto lock. And what you could do is you can set it to 30 seconds. That way, whenever your phone is not being used for more than 30 seconds, it will automatically black out. And this, over the long run, is also going to save you battery, because your battery won't be wasting that much keeping the display on for longer periods of time. So tip number 5 is to enable low power mode. So low power mode is probably the best mode for your battery, because it does a bunch of different things to help you save battery. And obviously, if you use low power mode on a daily basis, it's gonna, allow your battery to last much longer time in the long run. So you do this by going into settings, going to battery, and then here in battery, you will see low power mode. All you have to do is enable it. Now, what low power mode will do is that it will reduce a background activity so that there will be less processes going on in the background of the iPhone, like all the open apps that you have here, because all these apps do drain your battery much faster. So moving on to tip number 6, and tip number 6 is to limit your charge and enable charging optimization. So you do this also by going into settings, here in battery, you are going to select charging right here. And here in charging, what you want to do is you want to set the limit of your charge down to 80%. Okay, and what this will do is that it will only allow you to charge your phone to 80%. Research has shown that charging your battery to 80% rather than 100% helps preserve battery life and helps it last longer in the long term. And then another thing you want to make sure you have enabled is clean energy charging. This will reduce your carbon footprint by selectively charging when lower carbon emission electricity is available. iPhone learns from your daily charging routine, so it can reach full charge before you need to use it. So something to take advantage of. So tip number 7 is to always use your iPhone 16 or 16 Plus in normal temperatures. It's not good to use your iPhone in extreme temperatures, so it's recommended to always use it within 32 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 0 to 35 in Celsius, because when you expose your iPhone to extreme heat or extreme cold, it will automatically shut down to protect the battery. But even while it's shut down, keeping your iPhone at these extreme temperatures will continue damaging your battery. So make sure you prevent automatic shutdowns by using your iPhone 16 in normal temperatures. So let's move on to tip number 8. And tip number 8 is that if you're ever not going to use your iPhone for an extended period of time, it's best to store it away and leave it off with about 50 to 70% battery. It's not good to let your battery drain all the way to 0 and then store it that way. keeping your battery at 0% battery off for long periods of time will damage your battery, and it will make it harder for it to fully charge and maintain battery in the long run. So tip number 9 is that if you ever charge your phone to 100%, it's good to unplug it, although iPhones nowadays come with a protective measure in the software where it will stop charging at 100%, but it's always good to either way manually unplug it, because keeping your battery plugged in and always at 100% can cause, the battery to also damage over time and can cause battery swelling. So tip number 10 is a connectivity tip. If you're not using Bluetooth, it's good to turn it off. And also, if you're in an area where you're going to be using your data connection and you don't have to use Wi-Fi, turn Wi-Fi off as well. Having Bluetooth on and Wi-Fi on all of the time drains your battery because it's constantly searching for signal in the background. So if you're not going to be using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, go ahead and turn them off when not needed. And the final bonus tip, tip number 11, is to keep notifications silent. So the more notifications that you have and your phone is ringing all the time, this also drains your battery. So you can go over to settings, scroll down to notifications, and here you can customize which apps you want to get notifications from. So you can only have a couple that you actually receive notifications, or you can set it to where you only receive notifications when your phone is on like this. It's not good to have it where when you have your phone off like this to have notifications on, because it's constantly going to be turning the screen on, receiving notifications. So here in announce notifications under Siri, go ahead and disable this. And here where it says show previews, you can select this to when unlocked. So it's only going to show you notifications when your phone is unlocked like this. If you really want to save battery, you can just select never, and then you'll never receive notifications. All right, everyone. So those are 10 plus tips on how to maximize the battery life of your Apple iPhone 16 and 16 Plus. Go ahead and destroy that like button if you enjoyed the video. Comment down below and let me know. And that's all for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, peace.